welcome back to my channel. This is Enjoy the Bounty of Planning with Tonisha Taylor. So this is another cloth and paper unboxing. This is an order that I placed right at the end of December. Or I'm sorry, not the end. Actually, I did place an order at the end of December, but this is the one that I placed at the middle of December so that I could finish out my 2021 planner system. So I'm really excited about this. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and pull everything out of the box. Just lay the box to the side. All right, so, and of course, as always, I apologize for the crinkly plastic noises. So we have our receipt here, and then also the thank you card. And actually, I'm gonna put this one in the pile because I had actually pulled, I already have like 2 of this one, but I also have this one from a previous order. And I really like them together. So I think I'm gonna figure out a way to do these as some kind of decor in my planner. So we have a journaling card as well that came in this one, which this one is actually a little freebie. So make it simple but significant. This is one I believe I received in a previous order as well with a different design. Same quote, different design on the card. So this is cute, like that a lot. So I ordered in this order, I did order another Ollie clip. I have really loved having this in my academic planner as part of the setup for my spring 21. So I wanted to get another one for my personal planner. So I'm really excited to have this. I'm gonna use this as my page marker in my planner. So that's exciting. And then I ordered 3 different new page flags and page squares. So I ordered page flags in Bellini, page flags in French 75, and then page flags in Whiskey Sour. Let's go ahead and open these up. So this Whiskey Sour is kind of a yellow, kind of color. I guess it's sort of like a, I don't know, it's kind of like a, I don't know, it's a Whiskey Sour. If you know what a Whiskey Sour looks like, they're kind of a golden yellow with a kind of a brown sort of undertone, and that's what this looks like. So really pretty, really lovely. There's a lot of cocktail references and coffee references, which is really cute. All right, so this is the French 75. So this is kind of a peachy color, which just has a really nice warm sort of undertone. As you can tell, it is also highly transparent, which I love. And then this last one of the flags is the Bellini. And this one on the stack has a very sort of brick, kind of peachy or like red kind of color. And once we kind of get it off the stack, we can see that it still has very much a red sort of brown kind of tone. So if you were thinking that the Bellini would be more peachy color, like the French 75, it definitely is not. It definitely is more of a kind of a rose brown kind of color. And I would actually call that more of just kind of holding it under the light. Yeah, that's definitely more of like a brick kind of color. Really pretty, really, really pretty, and fairly transparent, as you can see. One of the things I really like about cloth and paper color flags too, because they're transparent, you can see the text underneath them, but this is very clear versus some other transparent flags that I've had in the past. It almost makes the text kind of muddy underneath, and these do not. These allow the printed text to still be very, very clear. So love that about these. Okay, so let's go ahead and rip this open. And I love that they're the cloth and paper signature paper is black now with white writing. I just think that is so pretty. All right. So for today, for the other things is mostly just filler. So I got the executive notes. I ordered these in the half letter size to fill into my planner. And I use these for meeting notes, but I also use them as journaling pages because right at the top, and this is the previous design, the new design is a little different, but at the top you have the month, the date, and the day. Let me see if I have one of the new designs nearby. The new design has, and I do not. Hold on one second. I'm going to go get a new design. Okay, so I had to go get my new notebook because the new design pages are in here. So the new design, which I know I have some that are, here we go, that I've cut so I don't have to keep opening the notebook. So you'll notice for the executive notes, the new design, let's go to focus on that. The new design has a place to write in the subject, and then it has day, month, date, and the day is written out, but so is the month. So both now in the new design are written out with, I'm so sorry for this jerky camera. I keep hitting the stand and so it keeps moving. So you have the subject, the day, the month, and the date on the new design. On the old design, you don't have any place to write the subject at the top, and it goes month, day, date. So the new one goes day, month, date. And so those are some differences. So the month is also, on the old design was numbered. On the new design is the 3 letter abbreviated, right? And so I really like that about the new design. So going forward, I'll actually order, the order that I placed at the end of the month, I ordered this new design after it came out. You can actually order it now. So I went ahead and did that. So I ordered these before that. So that's why these. And I'm excited because in the new order that I placed, I'm actually going to get some classic size of those. But I love these, like I said, for taking notes for meetings. They're great for research notes. They're also just great for journaling. If you're doing like a daily journal, or you're using these for bullet journaling for dailies, this is a great way to have a daily page. And so I really, especially if you're using a half letter, A5, or a pocket size planner, these would make really great daily pages for that too, because you're only gonna use them when you need them, right? They are 2-sided, so you can have like, something for like January 2nd on this side and then the January 3rd on this side. So that is really, really nice. So I'm gonna put those there. And then these are the project management sheets, and I absolutely adore using these. I am on a grant project where I am the scholar who is doing the social media helping to create the campaigns, but I'm also going to be doing the analysis on the messages that we create. And so I love using this for that, but I also love using these for other kinds of date-driven projects where you're working with other people and you have things that are expected to come out at specific dates. So these project management sheets, for example, I use for curriculum development because there are curriculum changes that we're doing that need to go through the department curriculum committee and then the school's curriculum committee, then the university's curriculum committee. Because I work at a state university, we have some major changes that actually have to go to the state coordinating board. And it's a lot of moving parts that you have to do to make sure that your curriculum changes go through all of those approvals, and then when they come back to campus, they actually end up in the catalog and in the schedule so that students can actually take the course, right? And I have decided that I'm going to treat that as a project and use these sheets to kind of keep track of all of that, especially because you have this project results space. Where you can really kind of keep track of how it all develops. So let me just open one of these. So I know all of my academics out there will appreciate this. So you have your contact in collaboration with. So this is where, for me, I would list all of the people that are have some kind of stake in making sure those curriculum changes get done. I would put my due date up here by due date, and then content overview, I would just use this space to write in whatever that change is, because it goes as a packet. So I would probably just follow the packet. One of the things I would put in here is once it goes to the university committee, it gets a number. And so I would actually put that UAC number because that's the number you can follow it up to the state. If it has to go up to the state coordinating board and follow it back down through the registration office or the records and the registrar's office when it comes back to campus and it has its final approvals in order to be processed. Then you have a space here that says date, task, and deliverables. So I would just track everything that needs to be done. Then you have your project results. On the back, you have a timeline, which is crazy helpful if we're talking about something like curriculum changes, right? Because curriculum changes usually take anywhere from 6 months to 2 years from the time that you, as a group, as a faculty, you decide, okay, we want to make this change, going through doing all of the stuff that has to be done on campus. And then if you're at a state university, all the stuff that has to be done at the state level. And then once you get those approvals, all of the final processes to make it actually happen so the students can see it. Which is interesting because if you talk to your students about that, they're like, well, why can't I just take this new class like next semester? And it's like, well, because it takes a year for that new class to end up in the system to actually be a class you can take. So this timeline is really helpful to be able to keep track of it, because as faculty, it's also not the only thing we have to do, right? It's not like you put in your curriculum change and then you're like, okay, I have 0 other things to do until this becomes a course. And the same is true for administrators, right? We have a lot of other stuff we need to do while that's happening. And so this is going to help. Using a form like this is going to help me to keep track of changes like that. But I'm also going to use this for other kind of projects because it gives me a space to also, I like that it says ideation, right? So a place to write down ideas. This is dot grid style. And as you can tell, you can see more the line in the back, that black heavy line. And that's mostly because you have light coming up through here. Actually, you can actually see it pretty good. It's interesting. That wasn't as heavy on previous versions of this paper. So it just looks like that line is a little bit thicker this time than it was before. But it's a little bit of ghosting. It's not the end of the world. You can still totally see whatever else you actually are paying attention to. But I love the fact that the dot grid is present, but it's not like polka dots. You know, sometimes you can get dot grid paper where the dots are like, they're really dark and really obvious. This one isn't. It's very much a light gray kind of color. So it's just enough to be able to keep your line straight so that you won't be writing at a slant down or a slant up, but not so much that it's like, you know, it's just in the way. So love that. And then these are top tabs, which I purchased to go to create the sections in my personal planner. I'm just gonna cut that open because I cannot seem to get into that plastic part. I don't know why. Ooh, that's still super loud. Oh, magnetic. There we go. Okay, so these are glass dividers. They come in a set of 4 if you're purchasing them for the HP Classic size, which, as I've mentioned before, the HP Classic size is essentially a B5 piece of paper. And so, or the same size, a little bit smaller than a B5 journal. Okay. So I'm really excited about these because these are going to go in my personal planner to create my sections in my personal planner. So as y'all know, when I do my unboxings, I also do a little bit of a setup. So let's go ahead and just set this up a little bit as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and set this up a little bit as well. So I have a clear cover on my personal planner, which I adore. I have my word for 2021 is purpose. And I looked in all kinds of shops that were doing word of the year dashboards, and nobody had purpose for 2021. I guess everybody feels like they achieved their purpose, or they're skittish about purpose as an idea for 2021, given what 2020 turned into. But I have a plan. One of my goals for 2021 is to submit my portfolio for full professor, and that is something that takes a lot of thought. But I love the idea of purpose because as a noun, it means the reason for which something is done or created or for which something exists. And I've been thinking a lot about whether or not I wanted to go up for full and what the purpose of that is for me. And now that I have my answer, it's what I want to do. But I'm really thinking about purpose in terms of everything else in my life as well, in my personal and professional life. And so I wanted to have that as my word. This is my future log. So as I have mentioned in a couple of other videos, I'm actually moving my bullet journal from a book bound to a disc bound. So one of the things that I'm doing with this, I'm actually going to do this. I know I have a tab on there, but I really want the first one is actually going to be here. It's going to be the research projects and ideas. And so this is my research pipeline. And this actually just is my favorite quote from Zora Neale Hurston. And I'll just bring that a little bit closer for y'all. Whoops. Honestly. So as you can say, it says research is formalized curiosity. It is poking and prying with a purpose. Again, that word purpose, from Zora Neale Hurston. So the artwork, I purchased a digital download from at Art Digital on Etsy, and I just went ahead and chose, this was one of the textures, and then this image. And this actually comes from the bookworm set. And so I created this from that clip art and then just wrote the quote on the book that I wanted, which I love. And so I am gonna go back and write. I did all of this, I just lined it out just the way I would in my bullet journal. And I usually, even in a Scribbles That Matter bullet journal, I was using 2 books a year. But this stuff, the future log, and then the research pipeline, was the kind of stuff that, like, I was having to redo that every time I went into a new journal, and it is a little bit time consuming. And so I really wanted to have, that's why I'm actually moving my bullet journal to a disc bound, so that these kind of perpetual pages can stay in here. Because the other thing that I've noticed was happening is if it was a big project that actually crossed more than one notebook, I was actually going back and rewriting some of my notes, especially the ones that had to do with like essay organization, were getting rewritten into a new journal, which is low-key exhausting. So I wanted to stop that. All right, let's go ahead and put this one right here. So this is going to be my, and I'm actually gonna just take this out because I can already see how this is going to shift. All right. So these are actually going to move as the months move. So this one will be my habit trackers tab, which actually, now that I think about it, oh no, we're gonna leave it. Okay, so this is gonna be my habit trackers tab. So let me actually move my habit tracker forward, because what I'm going to do is each month I will just create my habit tracker and then put the habit tracker behind this cover. So for the habit tracker, I also used artwork from at Art Digital, and I created my own habit tracker, which I'll talk through a little bit more in a different video. So then this will be, I actually want to move this one forward, because what will happen is this will be my monthlies right here. Let me make sure I did that correctly, because it looks like I have one extra one, because I have my, maybe I bought 4 thinking that I would use one for my future log. Even though I kind of feel like that's not something I want to do now. All right, so future log, research notes and projects. Then we'll have one for habit tracker. This will be my calendar. We're gonna keep this one for notes, because this one actually goes, it'll go to the next month. So right now it's in January, but it'll go and be behind February when the next month comes. So I don't know what I want to use this last one for, but for right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just stick that right back here in the back. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I will print on some clear labels. I will print what each thing is so that I'll have my top tabs will have the section header on it. So I'm actually going to take that one off so that we can see, and then I'm going to take this off as well. So this is what it'll look like when it's all put together. So I'll just have my top tabs labeled with what is behind each thing. So that is how those are gonna go. I am super excited about that. And then my Ollie clip I'll use to know where I am actually in the actual week. And so it will be just clipped right on here like that. And so then I will know where I am, so I can just flip to it right away. And actually, the way it'll actually be is like this. So I'll have my month, and then I'll be able to go right to the week. Alrighty. So I am really excited about this. I'm so happy that these dividers now have finally come. Y'all just don't even know. So that is my unboxing for this order. I will have other videos for the setup in here for January. Now that I have these dividers, I can finally do my setup. I don't know. I just couldn't get into the setup when I knew I didn't have my dividers yet. But now that I have my dividers, I can finish my setup. So look for that video on my channel as well. There are other videos where I walk through as well as do a setup of my academic planner, so check that out. And then also make sure to hit the like and subscription button and the notification button so that you'll know whenever I have new content. And then you can also check out the setup video for this little bad boy as well. All right, thanks so much for joining me on my channel today. See you on the next one. Enjoy the bounty of your plans.